Hey, what's up? It's Rob Cavestany from Death Angel. You're watching fucking Put Your Horns Up, rocks.com. Horns up, rocks. All right, here you go, here you go. What's up? It's Rob Cavestany from Death Angel. You're watching hornsuprocks.com. Get your fucking horns up.
So we're here at Slayerville, New Jersey, Starland Ballroom. You know, like, it's amazing because the kids are already lining up, sold out show. I know the tour has been really good so far, so take us a little bit onto, like, today, I mean, the moments you share with both Testament and Anthrax.
Well, it's been amazing. The tour's been going for, like, almost 6 weeks so far, and, I mean, every show is not sold out in advance like this one tonight, but, I mean, pretty damn close, and every show is just totally raging, man. People come out early enough for, I mean, we go on first, which was a concern of ours, but usually by our second song, that place is packed in and people going crazy. So we're having a great time, man.
Right, you really have 3 headliners, you know what I mean? All with their different histories, but all around the same time when you were trading tapes with each other around that circle. So why don't you take us a little bit back in time into how, like, you know, before it was even a scene. Now people talk about thrash metal scene and it's like, oh, this big amount of bands and this big amount of success. But when you all started together, it was not like that at all. No,
not at the beginning, definitely not. I mean, we were kind of basically one of the people helping, you know, pioneer this kind of music, this genre. But we were just, I mean, we weren't really thinking about it. Just it ended up to be what it was, just by sheer, I mean, people just getting it, I guess, because for us it was just fun. I mean, we didn't realize what was actually happening or what we were a part of. We were just, you know, another thing is we were really, really young when we were starting off. I mean, we were considerably younger than a lot of the other bands that we were playing with and stuff. So, I mean, for us, it was just something that we just loved to do. We just wanted to jam and have fun, and it was a lot of fun. And there was the camaraderie along with the, you know, the competition between the bands, but in a fun way. And there was a lot going on, shows happening every weekend, multiple shows just bouncing back and forth from club to club. And it was definitely an amazing time. And it's pretty great that it, you know, carried on this long, or actually is whatever, coming back, or is now getting a little heyday again, something like that. It's awesome.
Just resurrect it.
Somehow, you know, I mean, I guess I see a lot of younger kids in the crowd, definitely. I mean, you see across the front row, there's a combination of old school fans and really young kids that couldn't have possibly even been born back then, you know, and they're in the front row singing all the songs to all the, you know, not just the new albums, but even the old songs. So they're picking up on it somehow. It's pretty good.
And what's up for next year? I mean, is there any new Death Angel music, anything for the fans to get excited about?
Oh, absolutely. Next year, I mean, the first thing that's going to be coming out from us in March or April is going to be the DVD that we've been, you know, Tommy has been filming for the last 2 years on the road. So it's kind of, you know, it's a live DVD, but it's also a lot more than that. There's, you know, it's the story of us over the last 2 years, and, you know, also touching on our entire history, and it has a lot to do with just the genre of thrash, you know, in of itself. There's interviews from all kinds of band members from premier thrash bands and stuff talking about us and the scene and everything. So it's a very interesting movie about thrash and about us, and that'll be coming out in springtime. And then we should be, well, we've already got touring plans booked. Like in summer, we'll be going back to Europe. We do festivals out there usually every summer, and when we get back from that, we should be going in the recording studio by the end of summer, beginning of fall, for the new album.
And that would be for an early 2013 release, or?
Yeah, that's the plan. So we get that recorded, and then probably back on tour by the end of the year again before the album comes out, because we're pretty much on a roll, and, you know, we have no plans for taking any kind of break per se. So, you know, there's just going to be breathers in between, but we're kind of on fire right now. We want to keep it that way.
You're definitely on fire. I mean, it's kind of cool for people who don't know this. Death Angel pretty much came back to the surface in 2001 because of a benefit for Chuck Billy from Testament. So it's kind of cool now that all of a sudden you're again sharing the road with one of not only the bands that everybody kind of looks up to, but, like, these guys have been so good to everybody in metal, and, you know, it's a pretty cool story.
It's really cool, man. And of all things, I mean, even though we're, like, with us and Testament, even though we're from practically the, you know, coming out of the exact same city and from all these years since we, both of our bands formed way back when, but we never toured the States together. We did one tour with those guys in 2003 maybe in Europe. It was, are you saying 2004? Oh, 2004. Hey man, these years are getting kind of, but yeah, that was in Europe. It was with those guys and Nuclear Assault and a bunch of bands on a package kind of festival tour. But that's really the only tour we did with Testament. We've done a handful of shows with Anthrax in the past, and even more recently we did a tour of Southeast Asia with Anthrax, and hell yeah, and I think that's probably what led to this thing happening. So we kind of hit it off and, rekindled our relationship, because we know those guys from back in the day too. We came out and played New York a few times in the 80s, and we'd run into them here and there and stuff. So, we're friends from the old school, and it's nice for us to all get together, and it's kind of a reuniting of sorts and everything. So good times for sure.
Any cool stories thus far in this tour? I mean, you guys are almost done with the tour, but there's still some days coming up. But anything that you can recall that you're like, hey, that was a cool moment, or a cool crowd, or something crazy that happened?
Well, the crowds are just, they're cool almost, just pretty much every night. It's just, some are even more raging than others. So the crowds, the shows are just, every one of them totally kick ass. A cool moment actually happened yesterday at Soundcheck. We usually get just a few minutes to throw our stuff up there and get a sound check in, but sometimes we get, we have a little more time, and yesterday we had a little more time. We were kind of messing around on stage, and Joey from Anthrax comes up there, and then like Ted starts going into Medusa, and then we start playing Medusa, and Joey jumps up there, and he sang Medusa with us playing it, so that was cool, man.
That's gonna be on the DVD?
Well, Tommy wasn't around in that moment. We weren't allowed to film there. We weren't allowed to film. But I did see Scott Ian come running up there with his camera, and he started walking around stage filming. So Anthrax has it. But yeah, that was a fun moment being old school fans of theirs, and I love that album. I love that song. So when Joey jumped up there and started singing it, I was like, yeah. All of us were like, yeah. And it's funny. Then tonight at Soundcheck, Anthrax was playing Medusa. So that'd be cool if they put it in their set. But yeah, other than just the usual drinking hard and partying and hanging out with those guys after the show and running around, nothing too crazy, because this is a very serious tour for us. So, we try to keep it under control so that everything's, business first, and get to the shows and whoop ass and keep in good shape and keep it together. There's been couple bad hangovers, but nothing too wild.
Hey, but I gotta commend you guys, because yes, some bumps in the road, some ups and downs, but mostly ups lately. You said the last 2 years have been amazing, but I think it's because of what you just said. You're taking it very seriously, and you're like, you've always been kind of like an underrated band from the Casino bands, but even anybody who hasn't heard these guys yet, if you hear Death Angel, it's Death Angel. You're not like, oh, who is that? But you know who it is, especially the live set. I can't wait. I'm pretty excited about it. As I said before, the kids are lining up already. So it's Saturday night. We're in Jersey, so it's
so exciting. We got a lot of friends here tonight too, because we got a lot of friends around this area. So it's always more exciting to play when you got people out there that you know personally, and you want to do extra good when they're watching and stuff. But that's just how we take it very serious. And even though we're a pretty hard partying band, that's for sure. Compared to we get together with Exodus, and it's bad news. But other than that, we know the routine already. We've been doing it long enough, and we know what we have to do to keep it real enough to deliver every night with full force, 150%, as you will see in
shortly.
A couple hours. Yeah, only thing that sucks is we only have a 30-minute set, so we can only squeeze 6 songs into our set. And no matter what, someone's disappointed because we didn't play that. But 6 songs, there ain't, we got it narrowed down to what's effective, and it's working. So, but on the off days, there'll be 5 shows on a day off, 6 on a day off. But basically, we put a headlining show on our off days. So then we get to play our nearly 2-hour set when we instead of resting, we do that instead. but we just love to play.
It's part of the game, and of course, you said before, being on the road, you're gonna keep going on the road. So if you come today early and you're like, oh, I want to see them again, you'll get to see them again. Any final words for your fans right now?
Final words, just thanks for all the years, thanks for the support, and you know, you can count on us to keep delivering. We got new stuff coming at you next year, and we'll be on the road, so see you then.